Coffee. So the good coffee. This will be my fourth cup today, although 3.5 of those were decaf. This one is decaf, and I use 1 0-calorie sweetener. I used to use 2, now I'm down to 1. Market Pantry! The best, cheapest, cheap money could buy! Okay guys, we're here again. It's day 7 of the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge. 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge. Yes, I got it right. Good for me! So we're at the end of my first official week, and I would say I was surprised I made it this far, but that's not true. I expected to make it this far. I expect to make it the whole 100 days, but I would be shocked and dismayed if I couldn't even make it a week. Especially, when I'm setting my own pace, and theoretically I could do 30 minutes at a time. Anyway, that didn't happen. I succeeded. I worked again today. I did not have the work-for-hire job that I thought I might have. The lady ended up canceling at the last second, so mixed, good with the bad, no money, but I had more time to work on my stuff. So I did indeed put in 4 full hours today, which I don't know if it was the most I put in a day. Maybe it's tied for the most. I think 3.5, 4 hours has been my high point so far. It'd be great to get it beyond that, but again, if it's 4 hours, that's 4 hours more than I usually do. So that's great. And the camera situation has been problematic. I'm using my iPhone to do this. I had a Canon, like a PowerShot that had video, but the resolution was even worse than my iPhone. And the problem with the iPhone is that there's no tripod I have that'll hold it, at least not one that I own. And so I have to set up weird lighting. If I had the overhead light, it looks like I'm washed in fire. And then sometimes I get weird dim lighting. Like last night you saw the lighting was so dim that it didn't focus properly. And I also have to set it up like it's on a bookshelf right now. So anyway, that will be solved soon because I ordered myself a camera, a combination of a Black Friday deal, some Amazon credit from my birthday that I saved, and hopefully banking a future on the money I'll get when I sell those comics will sort of take care of the camera, which will be higher resolution and be able to have a clamp and a few other things. So in a few more videos, hopefully, if nothing else, the video quality will increase. So moving on to what I did today, I did a lot of writing. I wrote scripted for 6 pages, and that took me about 2.5 hours, I think. And then I did another character design, which was for a pilot, a military pilot. He's like an ace pilot called Aeon Dark. And I'll put up a speed process of that right now.
So I didn't use as much reference for this one as I did some of the others. I mainly just grabbed some pictures of an old 70s 12-inch Cylon figure, missing some pieces that I kind of had in my mind when I thought of this guy. I wanted him to have an all-black suit with a big metal, cumbersome, shiny helmet, sort of like a more badass Daft Punk. And when I was thinking of that, I had an image of that 70s Cylon, which I never owned, but I just have seen on the internet all over, or in bins at like secondhand shops. So here I am, drawing different helmets, loosely based on that, but I don't want it to look anything like a Cylon. This one kind of looked like Gort from The Day the Earth Stood Still. And similar to the face thing I did with the CEO and with the logo, I kind of got rid of the ones I didn't like, embiggened the ones I did, and created a hybrid with the aspects of all of my liked. I kind of also liked the rebreather sort of look to it, since he is supposed to be a pilot. It gives it sort of a functionality look. And the visor, I didn't want any eyes or facial features to be recognizable. I originally had more of like a Power Rangers thing going, but I want him to not look like a person, even though it is, and there's like a head I'm putting in for size. I was noticing that the helmet was very oversized, which is kind of what I had in mind. Like on the figure it was oversized, and I went back and forth with whether or not I wanted it to be like plausibly oversized or not, and I think in the end I went with larger than would make sense in real life, but still looks kind of okay on the page. Of course, I still might adjust that later when I get to the finals. And here I'm just cleaning up. Those things on the top, I imagine, are pieces in the back that are just barely making over to the front. And while they want the suit to be completely dark and black, and all the features that I drew on it would be barely noticeable when it's colored, not that it's going to be a colored book, but colored in gray and black. I wanted the helmet to be very shiny, either silver or gold, similar with this chest thing, shoulder thing. And the idea is that this is a super advanced flight suit, specifically for piloting a mech remotely which he will then later do. The other soldiers don't have suits like this. He's the only one. He's like the alpha test pilot. And here I go in with the cleanups. I'd considered, sometimes when I'm doing stuff like this, if I get one arm or leg design right, I'll just copy and paste. And I was almost going to just copy and paste that arm and then the leg, but I don't know, for whatever reason I felt like drawing through the whole thing. And yeah, there's the boots. A little hint of a Cylon boot there, just the boots and the gloves just because of the large cuffs on them. Also kind of reminds me of RPM Power Rangers, which is not supposed to really be either one of those. Well, a little bit the Cylon, but I wouldn't want someone to look at this and go, oh man, look, it's a Cylon, which I don't think anybody would. It's just sort of a rough starting point of an image I had in my mind, similar to what I was saying the other day about when I use people's faces as reference. It's almost better if they're not recognizable afterwards. It's just sort of a jumping off point, sort of being inspired by, but not copying. And here I am messing around with the head again. And then it's not a color book, but I wanted to make sure I could see. Oh, that's right. I wanted to darken in the visor too. I didn't want it to look like you could see his face in there. I wanted it to be like Black Mirror. And then I'm putting some highlights and shadows just so it looks three-dimensional, and that's kind of closer to how it'll look in the book. Because again, it'll be black and white, but it'll be toned. And even though it's not color, I wanted to experiment around with gold. Okay, so I had him pretty much how I liked him. And then I was having trouble with the transparency here because I was doing a flat layer of color under him so that he would matte out the robot behind him, but I had him on, doesn't matter, a layer that was transparencied. And here's him, and here he is with a semi-final mech that he would pilot later.
So that was the speed process. As time goes on, I'm going to have less and less of those to show, so the visual dynamics are going to kind of go down once I run out of designs, which is at least major designs, which is coming up soon. And then I'm just going to be like, hey, I wrote 8 pages. Hey, I wrote 5 pages, you know. But I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can throw in some doodles or something just to keep it visually interesting. Moving on. That was about 3.5 hours total, those 6 pages, and then that design. And then had dinner. Q came home, did a few other things. And then I decided to put in another half hour, so I hit that 4-hour mark at least. Did another half hour of writing. Surprisingly, got 2 pages done. I thought I'd only get maybe 1, but I got 2 pages done. So that means I did a total of 8 pages of final script today and 1 character design, which is pretty great. I'm happy with it. It's not, again, I haven't broken any records as far as how much I've put in, but it's a good solid day. And yeah, and that's day 7, so we got 93 remaining days.